All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Just thought I would sit down before I eat breakfast, do a quick little Q&A with you guys, chat with everybody, see what people are up to, get a live stream going. These are more live than I'm noticing some of them, like the coffee chats. Like I ran a long one this morning. I just deleted it. Because sometimes in those I'm still waking up. Maybe I talk about things in my personal life I wouldn't want to talk about. I got to be better about that. Plus, they're kind of like a fan service thing. I feel like they're so slow at the start that it's hard to keep people in. So if people see them later, they hit them, they jump back in. So a lot of those I might just delete them after. But I'm like, well, let's jump in. And stuff like this today, midday, perfect, Defiant. Hey, man, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for commenting. But that's what I mean. I start one like this. We're 50 seconds in. We're already getting comments and likes. Hence the difference. So, guys, let's get a little conversation going. Let's get a chat. Let's get some topics going. Obviously, you guys saw my thing. I said fake natties still dominate YouTube fitness, which they do. And we know they do. They obviously do. But I also just put up my training vlog. Man, I feel like I'm getting thicker. I feel like I'm recomping pretty effectively at this point. Feel like recomp's going good because I'm getting thicker and stronger without gaining weight. So we got to be recomping, right? That's how it works. But yeah, I'm enjoying doing all this conditioning work in between. I feel like it's really, carrying over for me in the sense of it does give a hypertrophic response, but it does not hit you the same way that lifting does, right? I don't know. Hit the like, guys. Tell them to hit the like. And what I'm going to try to do, you guys saw the vote we did the other day. I'm just going to ignore comments that I feel are too personal, stuff I don't want to answer, and see if I can avoid banning people on stuff like that. Right. And I think the general consensus was as long as they don't keep respamming the same question you clearly ignored, then don't ban them. And that's what the vote of the council of all the followers was. But if they do, just ban them at that point. Right? Pretty straightforward, guys. But yeah, so happy with the GPP. But tell me, guys, hit that like button. Hit the like. So let's get some real conversations going. Let's get some actual topics of interest that actually matter. And let's not get stupid stuff that's going to get people canceled. Right. So, not even sure what you just deleted something about your third time around, Keith. But there's people in here, so if people are not going to ask real questions for me to talk about in conversations, then I guess we'll talk about GPP. You don't know what mil-spec means? Mil-spec means it's made to military specifications for contracts, right? So in other words, for you to get a contract to produce items for the military, they have specifications that must be reached for you to bid on the contract. All right. Hold on, I just had a training related question. One of my clients, give me a second here, guys. And I will get right back with you. Trying to see, what is he telling me? Okay, press. All right. All right. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to normally do that. Thoughts on man of war squats? Why do you guys make up exercises all the time to ask me about? Why do you need to try? Just don't be a weirdo. Right, exactly. I mean, it's not even difficult. I mean, let's go back over to the chat here. It's so easy to not get banned. It is so easy to not get banned in here. Like literally all you have to do is don't be a weirdo or a stalker. That's all you have to do. It is not difficult. Like you can be a troll. Like maybe if you have to try, you should just spend some time off the internet in general and talk to a therapist. I mean, Defiant raises a valid point. You know, but Keith, I have no idea what a man-o-war squat is. Have you ever seen me perform such an exercise or prescribe it to clients? And I probably don't think about it at all, but I think you just made it up. All right. People just come up with the silliest new stuff all the time. They need to reinvent 57 new exercises every day. It's a binary thing, right? So what that means is if the mil spec means that this hole in the receiver is exactly 1.327 inches in diameter, then that's what your spec has to be. Does that make sense? It is a set of blueprint specification, and you have to match those exact specifications, right? Does that make any sense? That is what the contracts require. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Keith, some of their stuff could be. With Daniel Defense is actually really high quality. Most Colts are, yes. Yeah. Because they're specifically a contractor, right? They bid for those contracts. And this is stuff that you could go easily look up yourself. All right. Calisthenics is far superior to weight training. That is literally a moronic statement, right? What an absolutely moronic statement. And is mil-spec superior? No. It just means that it's set to that specification. There's a minimum specification there. No, in some cases, others can be better, Keith. Hey, Keith, you don't even really need to come here for this. This is not the nature of my channel. Like you could just literally go to an AR-15 forum and read all this yourself. This is very common, like literally you could just Google an AR-15 forum and just go read all this. Like this is very, very low level conversation, right? We're at newbie stuff. You're at newbie level conversation. Like what is a barbell? Can I get the microplates exist? Like how do you count the math on a bar? We're at that level, Keith. You're at the level of, hey, how do we tell how much weight is on the barbell? How do we count the plates? This is where you're at. And that's cool, but you could go do basic reading. Why do rock climbers have a stronger grip than power lifters? And what are you talking about? It's not whole sets of athletes have one thing better than another. Individual people have stronger grips than others. Audrey, hey, coach, how's your day going? Defiant Troll. I saw someone commenting under an HRT video. Dude in his 40s said he's running 400 tests, 200 MVP, 200 primo per week. Are there other things besides tests, and are the others good or bad? Hey, Defiant, I don't want to do detailed gear talk in here if we can largely avoid it. I'll be happy to do a consultation with you on all of that. If we're getting into that level of detail where I'm signing off on a specific stack. But that's obviously not an HRT. Ever heard of a dead hang? Yes, I have done dead hangs. Yeah. Oh, wait, you're just silly. By the way, you do know I am very, very pro body weight exercises. Just an FYI. But your statement itself is absurd, given the benefits of weight training and the ability to micro load and load and progressively load barbells compared to body weight. Body weight can't really. Barbell is going to be superior overall, but I think calisthenics are an amazing tool, right? Let me be clear. Body weight training and weighted calisthenics are an absolutely phenomenal tool, and they're a regular part of my own training and that of my clients. I don't know what a planche is, but I love weighted dips. I love weighted pull-ups. I love weighted chin-ups. I don't know. Can you squat 500 pounds? Then I'm not interested in your displays of strength. All right. I can do a dragon squat. I don't know. Can your mom do a dragon squat? What a clown. Like, do you even lift? What is this nonsense in here? I think you should be doing body weight exercises, but I think you need barbells too. Barbells are always going to be your strength base. Every top athlete around the world and strength coach knows this. We've known this for 50 years. But you don't weigh anything. It's not enough weight to matter. Your own body weight. Like, come on, dude. Like, I'm only 209 pounds. That's not exactly heavy weight. You know what I mean, bro? I mean, that's not exactly a lot of weight. I mean, if you weigh 500 pounds, then hey, okay, right? But where are we at to other real questions? Can you pull? Too many things got mixed in. Is it best to mix a test derivative 19 NOR and data to get a good mix and spread? Yeah, Keith, I'm not going to do that level of stuff. So if you guys want real geared discussions, you need to do consultations on it. All right. Can you pull and dip with an extra 100 pounds? I think that's a good question for it. So should have basic training in them both. That's a given. You're doing that. And Chris, that's what I would say. Yeah, I mean, we should have a good base in both. You should have a good base in the basic barbell lifts and a good basis in body weight exercises. That should really be our foundation for strength and athleticism, right? Absolutely. And we should be good at running. You should be able to run also. But generally speaking, yeah, I mean, I would like to see, if you can't do 10 pull-ups, I mean, we got a problem, guys. Yeah. Just like I would say to a guy who can't squat 400 pounds, like, dude, you can't squat 400 pounds. We got a problem here. No, they don't raise testosterone. Just stop. Thoughts on time dilation in the dream world? Time dilation has to do with photons potentially passing each other. I don't know what you mean by the dream world. So, hey, Keith, remember that point where Defiant told you all you have to do is not be a stalker or a weirdo? So, can you do a sub 6 minute mile? No. But respect for those who can, you know. You know what? I think having a sub 6 minute mile is a worthy athletic feat. You know? Well, it's more the weirdo stuff, Keith. What is a dream world? Is that actually a thing? You know. I mean, I'm happy to discuss theoretical physics and things, but I don't know what a dream world is. I don't know what that means. Is that a place? You got to give a context for just throwing something out there like that. Why would you experience time dilation when you dream? Hey, oh 08, I'm probably going to go ahead and get rid of your goofy butt. So what do you other? Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of this nonsense in a minute. Actually, I'm going to let him post for a minute. You know what? I'm going to let him post. Yeah, Keith, no, you don't experience time diet. Why would you experience time dilation when you dream? What is your source of this information? Time dilation is largely a concept based around the speed limit of the universe. Right? We do the kapow. Who is this 08 Taft guy? Let's see. Let's go to his channel. I bet you he make a new account today. No, he's not new. He's been doing this a while. So I'm going to go see all his amazing body weight stuff. Okay. 08. You've been talking all this trash, and I just went to your channel. I'm like, well, I'm going to go watch and see this dude cranking out like 30, 40 pull-ups or something, right? Because I'm like, if he's just obsessed with it, I'm assuming he's good at it. So I went to his channel, right? I went to his channel, and there's no amazing body weight and calisthenics stuff happening, dude. In fact, you don't have anything of interest. Like, your channel is just some sort of, is this anime? Do you watch anime as a grown man? What is this? Or is this video game stuff? Come on, man. All right. I came in to me a vision on magic mushrooms. Yeah, Keith. Most people cranking 30 pull-ups or $1.45 still. Well, I don't care that Clarence Kennedy watches anime. Yeah, you got to get off the drugs. Keith, there's your problem. So you're in here with problems and acting weird and struggling not to get banned, and then you admit you take magic mushrooms. Hey, Gutty, do you have a specific question about Clarence? So what do you mean thoughts? Because that's way too vague of a question, because I can't say I really stand around thinking about him. So I guess that's the answer. Now, if you have something specific, I'll be happy to answer it. I don't have any thoughts on Clarence as a human being. I don't know enough about him as a person. The squatting ass to grass beltless enough for quads. Yeah, it can be. You can build pretty good quads doing that. Bill, I think so. I think that works quite well. Those likes up there, guys. Vegan Gains watches anime. Well, this is not winning me over on this idea of anime and me already thinking people who watch it are generally, weird. I know he paused squats insane amounts of weight for reps too. I mean, we know Clarence is strong, but he's asking about him as a human being. I don't have any thoughts on him as a human being. I don't know Clarence personally. So how are we supposed to speculate about people as a human being when we don't really know anything about them? Or even if I did, it would be things other people have said, So what you gonna do? No. The whole red pill and self-philosophy. Yeah. Best way to break weight to pull up plateaus, gain muscle. People don't like my answers to breaking plateaus. Be patient, gain more muscle, time, consistency. Right? Hey, Gutty, but do you know that for a fact? Because I don't actually know whether that's true or not. You said he's only had one ever relationship in his entire 33-year-old life. I don't know if that's true or not. I have no idea. Gain muscle, not lose fat. Losing fat's not going to do that much for your pull-ups because you may lose a little muscle with the fat loss. It's so insignificant. So what if you lose 5 pounds? Is it going to matter? 10 pounds, right? No, you need to gain muscle. How do you get stronger in general? You either improve neural drive or you gain muscle. It's 100% true. He said so himself, and his response to his divorce is very similar to a 15-year-old going through his first breakup. Man, that first breakup, brah. I still remember my first breakup. You guys all remember that first breakup when you were a teenager, right? Man, it's rough. It's like the end of the world. Carter, are you considering? I've already partially done that. I already did a 15-pound cut this year. I pretty much said, yeah, over time I will keep drifting down towards under 200. By the time I'm 50, I definitely need to be under 200. I'm anywhere between 209 up to about 211 right now. But I'll drift down under 200. Nice. Oh, good check-in from a former client, letting me know his medical situation. Good stuff. So yeah. Thank you, Jason. I've been watching for years, and your videos make me feel better when I feel low. Hey, man, I'm glad they do that, bro. But I mean, over to your point though with plateau breaking. Look, I can do a lot of stuff as a coach to distract you in a little mumbo jumbo to help push you through a plateau, right? But at the end of the day, you still basically just have to gain muscle. Like that is the number one way to eventually push through a plateau. Now, whether is it a muscle in all the primary movers or is it just the weakest link? Well, we could have that conversation. If you have an obvious weak link, well, getting that weak link bigger will definitely increase it. Otherwise, the primary movers just have to grow. Or you have to start lifting heavy. In other words, if you've only been doing high reps, then yes, we can do things on the neural drive end to get stronger. But if you've already been doing the rep ranges you're trying to get stronger in, or you've been doing heavy work, we're pretty much back over to mostly just hypertrophy. Right? When I have my kid, my sleep will reduce close to zero. How should I approach training? Weekly volume, full deload. No, do not deload with the reps. No, just cut your volumes back. So if your sleep pattern is going to be destroyed with the newborn, as someone who coaches people with newborns all the time, keep in mind my age demographic of most of my clients. We adjust the training. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 weeks. We cut back to find out what is your minimum volume to keep your gains. Okay, we start looking at where's our minimum volumes to hold on to what we have. And it might only be training twice a week. It might only be 30, 40 minutes twice a week, right? Depending upon where they are. But we just adjust the volumes. You do not deload. A deload would suggest reduction in quality of sets. It's crazy how much bad sleep's a massive deal. Massive deal. It's absolutely massive. Right? So, but we know this. We know this already. Hey, Defiant, he just can't do it, can he? Defiant. Look at Keith's last post. Keith, you can't do it. Wow. Like you got to be just trolling. There's no way. There's no way you're actually trying not to get banned. Like you're literally going out of your way to try to get banned, like intentionally. Um, uh, uh, Cad Benjamin says, I was thinking of weekly 3 sets of a movement each day and rotating. Okay, this is too complicated. Weekly 3 sets of a movement each day and rotate. I I love you, bro, but I have no idea what in the F you just wrote. I can't comprehend what you just wrote as a program. I just can't. What life advice would you give your 20-year-old self with the knowledge you have today? I wouldn't, because that could destroy the entire universe. All right. We could create a paradox that causes space-time to collapse in on itself by sending information back in time that alters the course of history. You could create a paradox. I think this is really dangerous. You need to be very careful. Oh, sorry. 3 weekly sets of squat, bench, deadlift, chins, and that's it. You could possibly make that work, honestly. As long as you push those sets really hard, it might be workable. No, absolutely, Tyrone. Absolutely not. Like going off grid is stupid, given the current surface of the planet and the potential for outbreaks or World War II. No, no. Right. No, I would not ever consider a channel dedicated to fashion and pickup. What? Geez, no. I hate pickup artists, by the way. Like the pickup artists are such horrible scam artists who do such a disservice to men that they should be a death penalty. Like they should just be executed in public, just for the betterment of men. Right? It should be like a capital offense. I'm just gonna start saying stuff like that. I'm just tired of pulling punches. I've been trolling harder on my Facebook and stuff, and it's getting stuff. I'm just gonna say the same thing. Dude, these pickup artists, man, they should just be a capital offense, like straight up, dude. Right? Death by firing squad. All right. Would you go back in time if you could, or would that be possible implications of changing? Yeah, I mean, well, look, you're talking about creating alternate timelines. You're talking about, again, things that could destroy the fabric of space time. I think this is very dangerous. And I'm not saying that for a fact because we don't have time travel. But if we start going back in time and sending messages to ourselves and changing the course of history, we do have the potential to create paradoxes. I think this is a very dangerous line of thought until we have a better understanding of how this would impact stuff, like with good experimental data. All right. Yes, Keith, I used to distance run. That's how I lost weight. All right. Do you think David laid his natty? No. As a follower of Christ, do you believe the second coming or end of times prophecy? Yes, but I don't believe when people predict it. In fact, claiming that you can predict it is directly in violation with the scriptures. Like you're a false prophet, straight up. Right? Anyone who tells you that they know when it's happening, the scriptures say is a false prophet. You know for a fact. It's like right there, boom. They're a liar. No, Keith. All right. I don't think you're trying as hard to not get banned as you claim to be. I feel like you really, really are going out of your way to make me ban you. I'm not trying to progress on the running. I'm just running for fitness. I've scaled it back a hair so I can do more GPP for a bit. All right. Keith, asking someone if they would convert religions who has a religious belief, you don't think that is an intentionally offensive question? So yeah. You know what? I'm gonna let you guys vote. You guys want to vote? The regulars want to vote? Yeah, he trolling too much. I'll let the jury vote if they want to vote him off the island or not. I'm not going to do it by default. Keith, you can't vote for yourself. Defiant goes kapow. Where we at, guys? Anybody else want to vote? Joe gives a stay. Tyrone gives a kapow. Anybody else want to vote? Well, Keith, you didn't try very hard. Whack gives you a stay. Keith, you said you were going to try really hard not to get banned, and then you go down the road asking the weird stuff again and asking me if I change religions, and you know what I mean, dude? You know how offensive that is to people? To suggest to them that their religion is wrong and they should change to another one. Think that through. Do you not understand how serious people take their religious beliefs? Like they kill and die over their religious beliefs. Like, do you think that's something that people are just, oh, let me just mamby-pamby? You know what I mean, dude? Come on, man. Didn't you admit you were on the spectrum? You need to go talk to a therapist about the masking thing. You got to learn how to do this. You're going to have to learn how to socially interact with other human beings. Because that's what I mean. Like, that's the sort of stuff that will get you literally fired at your job. Okay? All right. Should I go keto for rapid weight loss? No. No, you should not. So they tied on that vote, by the way, Keith. But I almost banned you myself with that level of question. But you really do need to actually, was it 2 to 3? No, you don't get to vote. It's because you voted for yourself. Jason, are you bigger than Prime Phil Heath? How absurd is that? Hey, Bob, do I look like I'm like 300 pounds and on 10 grams of gear? I mean, come on, dude. Use a little common sense. If you're going to fight vegan gains for $1 million, $1 million, who's paying this? Who's paying this $1 million though, Joe? I need more details. I can't answer this without more details. Like I'm just getting $1 million no matter what, or what's explained, or do I have to actually win, and what do I get if I lose? I wouldn't change my lifting and conditioning, no. But meaning would I actually go do some? I have to win. By 4 months. Am I getting any money on the front end for anything? Because it's not free for me to go take time out of my day to go practice martial arts and get training. Half up front, half after the fight. Okay, So if I get half up front, right? So I get 500K up front and then another 500K if I win. Yeah, I'd cut all my other work way back, scale it down to the minimum, and I'd spend all my non-lifting time training martial arts. I would pay the best people. I'd drop 20 grand on coaching straight up without a hesitation, right? And I would get as much skill as I could in that time while continuing to work on my strength and conditioning. Like I'd be doing it 7 days a week so that I could make that extra $500,000. All right. How strict do you think one has to stick to the program he is doing in the gym to make progress, or does overall volume matter more? It's not volume, it's quality of sets more than specific exercises. All right. I did martial arts as a kid, and it's not relevant because we're all adults now. All right. That's a long time ago. Have you ever seen the Key and Peele skit? No, I don't know what any of that means. I don't know who the Hinkle guy is either. Never heard of him. Yes, I have worked blue collar. You guys already know I worked in the natural gas industry for years previously. Coach on Halo testing versus V, right? Oh, I mean, I'm not going to mention what all drugs I would throw in the mix. But I mean, for the extra 500K, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I think some machines can have their place. I own a reverse hyper. I have a belt squat. I don't use a belt squat really anymore. Start doing call outs. No, I wouldn't mess with trendy. It's not worth dying over. Will you ring the chains back? Will you ever? Possibly. If I do conjugate again, I'll use the bands and chains. They can be cool just for weighted stuff if you're kind of in that mindset. I used to like to throw them over my shoulders and neck for pull-ups and dips and stuff back in the day. It was a mindset thing. To find this, right? To find it, right? Maybe bring back a little more. Notice me going hard on Facebook. Like the last status, I made people arguing with me about dogs and cows. I've been trolling the vegans hard. I go, but Jason, there are countries that eat dogs, and ones that eat cows are sacred. I did a little face behind it. And I put, I don't care. We don't do that here next. We got time for this crap. Back on Blaha. Yeah, the Rock does that. I've been slowly more and more. Vegan trolling is most definitely. So the people I'm finding I can really get a rise out of on Facebook. Are you ready? People who are scared to squat or deadlift, and then vegans. Man, those are the two groups like you can really just get a rise out of. Right? Coach, would you fight 400? Let's see. What are you trying to do? Oh, Andre. I see what you're trying to do. Andre, you think you slick. You think you slick, Rick. Andre, you think you slick. Kapow! Get out of here. Oh, Lord. All right. Jason, you was right about all these protein powders containing all these contaminants, especially the vegan ones. You know, I told you guys there's no safety testing in the supplement world. You have to literally follow consumer independent testing. You know, there's no safety checks in place in the supplement industry. It's a dirty, dirty, shady industry. But no, I don't know what I'm talking about. They only sued me and dropped hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally hiring trolls to harass me and mess with my bloodlines and me. Hmm. And fund that whole hate campaign. Okay. All right, Keith. Hey, Keith. Remember the whole conversation? All you have to do is not be a stalker and not be weird. Too late. Kapow! Get out of here, Keith. I mean, I gave you multiple chances and you just could not stop. Kapow! You're out of here too, Bob. We just getting rid of them right and left. A little bit of shake and bake. A little bit of shake and bake. We're on fire. Coach getting hungry. I need to get breakfast in though, guys, for serious. So I think we're going to wind this down. I'm going to get a little food. Executive order Kapow. But we gave you guys some fair votes. Give you guys a Mount Bicephalus before we go. Oh, Mount Bicephalus. And we're out.